Hello everyone, my name is Alexander Mohamed, a developer of BreazeHome 4.0. The product owner of BreazeHome is Dr. Masoud Sadjadi, professor at FIU. The mentor of BreazeHome is Aaron Fang, research assistant at FIU. In this video, I will be explaining the steps to integration and deployment of BreazeHome. There is a very well documented explanation of integration in the BreazeHome wiki, so I'll be using it as reference to better explain this process. Let me first explain in general terms how integration works. You first want to update your own repository with your newest version of the code. To do so, you must first fix all conflicting code between the one you develop and the one currently sitting in your repository. After all conflicts are solved between your development code and the code sitting in your repository, you can then merge your new code with the production code and again solve any conflicts between the two. Once all discrepancies have been solved, you can then send the code to the admin to move your updated code into production. Now let's dive into the details and commands. This is the BreazeHome wiki page that explains integration into the system. The first thing you want to do is go through all the code you added and make comments at the beginning and end of your code segments in order to make it easier for you when solving conflicts and for other developers when they are reading your code. So in the wiki, they have a section for comment rules where they outline how you should comment your code between each type of file for scripts, HTML, CSS, and Python. So you want to have a start comment at the beginning of your code and an end comment at the end of your code. Once this is completed, you can then begin updating your own fork repository. If you haven't pulled the folders from your repository at the beginning of the project, you will first have to git pull from your own repo. If you have already pulled from your repo, you can then skip this step. I personally started coding using the folders already available in the VM, so I had never initially pulled code from my own repo. So it was important for me to git pull before moving on. So I made a document with all the commands you need in order to merge your code with the production server. So the first command is git pull, and then you want to use your personal repository URL. To get that personal URL, you want to go into your Git and you want to go into the My Repository section and you want to click on the folder you are currently working on merging. So say you're merging Breeze desktop folder, you want to click on that, and then in the top right here, you can copy this link and that's the URL you need. Or you can simply click the button to the right to copy. Once that command is done, you can then git add.origin master. It is important to type origin master after git add dot so it knows which origin it's pointing at. After, you can git commit -am and in quotations you can write some comments. Usually the comments should be pertaining to the feature you added. So for example, I was working on the school search system and particularly adding a school's API. So for me, I would type git commit -am and then in quotations add school's API. You can then get push origin master to push the new code to your repo. Once this is done, your personal repo has been updated and you now have to merge your code with the production repo. So once again, you want to git pull and then you want to use the main production URL. So to do so, you want to go into the Breeze folder and then go into that same folder, Breeze desktop, and then you want to copy that link, or once again, simply click the button to the right. After, you want to solve all the conflicts, and what conflicts look like is this example above here. So after you git pull, the command line will tell you the files that have conflicts within them. And the conflicts within the file will be marked as such. There will be multiple less than signs followed by the word head, some equal signs within the middle, and then multiple greater than signs followed by a conflict ID. What you want to do is solve the conflict between your code and the production code by deciding whether you want to keep both segments of the code or only keep one segment of the code. After the conflict is solved, you want to delete the line with the head, the equal signs, and the line with the conflict ID. Once all conflicts are solved, you can then git add.originMaster, git commit-am, and in quotations you can write solved conflicts, and then git push to the origin master. Now once all of this is done, you can now go on to the git and make a pull request. But before you do that, you want to first test locally your code that you pushed so you know that all the conflicts that you solved didn't break the code. Once tested is completed, you can then go on to the git and make a pull request. So to create a pull request, you want to go on to git, and then in your personal repository, so back to my repos, and then we were working on Breeze desktop, you want to go ahead and click this green button in the top left hand corner to make a pull request. Now currently I didn't do any of these commands because I already did integration, but once you do that, you can go into the Breeze wiki to see an example. You can write some comments and then click the green button to create pull request. And this will then send a pull request to the admin, which he can then update the system. If there's an admin managing the system, they can check the content of the pull request, and if they see everything is okay, they can then choose to merge the pull request. Finally, you can get pull from the main repo URL once again and test the system locally to make sure everything is still working. I hope this video helped you understand the integration and deployment process of BreazeHome. Thank you for watching.